Chris Cole might be exactly what the modern NFL is looking for at a linebacker. Was a five-star recruit out of Virginia, chose Georgia over Miami, Penn State, Tennessee, and several others. Played early as a true freshman, expanded his role in 2025 inside one of the deepest defenses in college football. And what makes him different is the coverage. Cole can carry seams, he can match in space, he can line up off the ball, in the slot, and even on the edge. He has a rare speed for the position. He only missed 4 tackles all year and even sacked Alabama in both meetings. But the reason he's linebacker 2 and not locked in on the first round yet is the run game power. He is more cover backer than downhill thumper. Today, we're breaking down Chris Cole, my current linebacker 2, why Georgia has a modern defensive chess piece, and what he has to prove to become a complete 3-down linebacker. Before we get into that, make sure you hit the like button, follow, subscribe, because we're going to keep putting in this work. We are on our way to over 100 prospects before college football season kicks off here at Draft Yoda. Welcome back, everybody. Currently, we are going to be breaking down Georgia linebacker Chris Cole, who's carrying an 8.85 out of 10, my number 65 overall prospect, and linebacker number 2 going into college football season. And this is this one is the modern linebacker blueprint, I guess is the best way I can say it. Because Chris Cole is not just a classic downhill run stuffer. He's not a 2-down linebacker. He's not just a box player who has to come off the field when the offense spreads things out. Cole is valuable because he can move. He can cover, he can carry routes, he can match in space, he can play off the ball, he can line up in the slot, he can blitz off the edge, and he can chase plays to the perimeter. In today's game, that matters. College football and the NFL are built around space. Linebackers have to defend bags. They have to defend tight ends. They have to survive RPOs. They have to carry seams. They have to match routes. They have to run sideline to sideline. And that's why Chris Cole is such an interesting prospect. Coming out of Salem, Virginia, he's not just a good local prospect. He was the top-rated player in the state of Virginia, 5-star recruit. He was a top 35 national prospect. And he had the kind of offer list you expect from a player with that profile. Miami, Penn State, Tennessee, Ohio State, everybody wanted him. But Georgia got him. As a junior, Cole posted 76 tackles, 11 tackles for loss. He was productive. He could run. He could hit. He could find the football. And he had the frame and athleticism and the versatility to play multiple roles. And when Georgia wins a recruit like that, you pay attention because Georgia does not take linebackers by accident. They know what the position is supposed to look like. And they have developed elite linebackers. Cole arrived early in Athens and got on the field immediately. As a true freshman, he appeared in 14 games, collected 16 tackles, forced 2 fumbles, earned a spot on the SEC All-Freshman team. That matters because Georgia defensive depth is just different. It's not easy for a freshman to get meaningful defensive work in that program. Georgia is loaded with former blue chip players. They rotate NFL bodies. They make young players earn everything. And when Cole gets on the field as a true freshman and produces enough to earn all freshman recognition, that tells you the staff trusted him. He wasn't a finished product, but he was already part of the plan. In 2025, he took a step forward. 38 tackles, 4.5 sacks, broke up 2 passes, generated 18 pressures, added 23 run stops, and added a dozen hurries from off the ball. That's a versatile stat profile. He's not just tackles, he's not just sacks, he's not just coverage. It's a little bit of everything. And that matches the player. Cole is not a traditional one-lane linebacker. He can be used in multiple ways. The Charlotte game shows the full skill set. Near flawless outing with a sack and 3 stops, broke up a pass, and it kind of shows you in one snapshot everything you want to see from Chris Cole. The pressure production, the run game involvement, the coverage impact. That is what makes him interesting. A linebacker who can only tackle it is replaceable. A linebacker who can only blitz is limited. A linebacker who can only cover, cannot finish, is incomplete. Cole showed flashes of being able to affect the game in every phase. He also added a multi-stop game against Mississippi State. That matters because the run production is part of the profile people are going to question. Cole is known as a coverage backer. So every game where he shows he can trigger, fit, and finish matters. The run defense is not the headline trait yet, but flashes are there. He can chase, he can close, and he can use speed to erase space. And doing it against a Mississippi State who has a running back who is on my top 10 running backs for next year's college football season is impressive. It shows the ability to play against other top players. First thing that stands out about him is the coverage. Cole is one of the best coverage linebackers in the class. He carries seams, he matches backs, he reroutes tight ends, and he can handle himself in space very well. That matters because modern offenses are built around isolating linebackers. They can put linebackers into conflict, force them to cover into space, and they want to make them choose between the run and the pass. Cole gives the defense an answer to that. Another thing that helps him give that answer is his speed. Cole is track fast for the position. It shows up when he's covering routes. It shows up when he matches in space. It shows up when he ranges sideline to sideline. It shows up when he chases down players at the perimeter. Linebacker speed matters because the field is wider now. You cannot be slow at the second level. If a linebacker can't run, offenses will find him. Cole can run. And it's not just straight line speed. He can redirect and he can cover ground. His versatility also is something that you're going to love about him. He's lined up off the ball, over the slot, at the edge. And that's valuable because the more roles a linebacker can handle, the harder it is for an offense to identify the pressure, coverage, and matchup before the snap. He can mug a gap, he can blitz, he can drop, he can spy, he can carry it back, he can reroute a tight end, and he can do it from multiple positions across the defense, giving that chess piece that defensive coordinators absolutely are going to love. Covering backs and tight ends, the way he can blanket them is rare. Running backs in modern football are not just check down options. They have real receiving threat. They motion out, they run angle routes, they run wheels, they run option routes. They force linebackers to move like defensive backs. And Cole has the athleticism to handle that. And against tight ends, he has the hands to reroute and disrupt the timing at the line, which is another important skill. If a linebacker gets a tight end, if he lets them have a free release into the seam, the defense is in trouble. The Alabama game is one that I've got circled for him. Cole sacked Alabama twice across 2 meetings, while holding up in coverage. It's exactly the kind of multi-phase production that makes this profile interesting. You can pressure Alabama, you can survive in space. People notice. It's not empty production. It's not production against, it's production against high-level athletes. And for a linebacker, sacks don't always come easy. You have time to blitz. You have to attack the right gap. You have to finish, and you have to beat backs or linemen in protection. Cole showed he can do that. And the pass rush production overall is modest, but the Alabama flashes are very important. He also showed that he's very reliable as a tackler. Only 4 missed tackles all year is excellent for a linebacker, especially for a player who spends this much time in space. Open field tackling is hard. When you're in coverage, chasing perimeter runs and matching players in space, you're going to be asked to finish difficult plays, and Cole does that. Nobody's perfect. I've said in every single one, nobody's perfect. Where he can improve is on that pass rush production. 18 pressures, 4.5 sacks. There's some production there, but for the number of times he was used as a blitzer, the overall pass rush impact is still modest. That means that he needs to keep developing as a pressure player. He has the speed, athleticism, and the ability to time his blitzes, but he needs more efficiency. He needs to have a pass rushing plan. He needs to finish on that pass rushing plan, and he needs to have the ability to beat blockers when the rush is not clean. Right now, the blitz value is useful, but it's not dominant yet. That's the next step for him. Part of that next step is block shedding. Climbing guards can test him at the second level. That matters because every linebacker has to deal with traffic. Speed is great, coverage is great, range is great. But if a guard climbs cleanly and gets hands on you, you have to be able to shed them. You have to stay square. You have to keep your chest clean. You have to strike and separate. And that's somewhere Cole can still improve. At 235 pounds, he's not tiny, but he wins more with athleticism than raw point of attack power. Third concern is the run defense. He is more of a dominant coverage linebacker than a run defensive linebacker. The cleanest way to say it is his run defense trails his coverage. He's more of a coverage backer than a thumper. And that's okay in today's game, but it's going to shape how he's perceived. If you're looking to draft Chris Cole, you're drafting him because he can cover and move. You're not drafting him because he's going to destroy guards in the A-gap every snap, but because a true 3-down starter, their run defense has to be good enough. Not elite, good enough. He has to be able to take on blocks better. He has to trigger downhill and with more force. He has to be more consistent fitting the run between the tackles. And to me, that's why he is linebacker 2 instead of linebacker 1. His coverage as a linebacker is a premium value. He can run with backs, he can carry seams, he can match in space. But what makes him linebacker 2 is the run game. The thumper trait still has to catch up. I need a linebacker who can coverage, but who can be good in coverage, but still be physical as a downhill linebacker. He's not the most violent block shedder. He's not the most physical downhill linebacker. He's not a finished product against the run, but the coverage and versatility is real enough to carry the grade right now into 2026. For 2026, Cole already has the recruiting pedigree. He already has the early playing time, the coverage value, the versatility, the tackle reliability. The checklist is pretty clear to me. Take on blocks better, improve shedding against guards, create more pressure when you blitz, keep the missed tackles low, keep the coverage at an elite level, and become a leader on that Georgia defense. If he does that, he is going to skyrocket up draft boards next year because NFL teams are looking for linebackers who can play on third down, and Cole can do that. Now he has to prove he can handle the dirty work of first and second down. Currently holding an 8.5 out of 10, number 65 overall, my linebacker 2 going into this college football season. He was a 5-star recruit, top player in Virginia. He has the coverage, first hybrid linebacker with rare speed, excellent range, strong tackling reliability, and the ability to line up off the ball in the slot and on the edge. You know, the strengths are clear. But in today's football, coverage linebackers matter. I still need you to affect the run, and that's what I need to see the most. If the run game power catches up in 2026, he has the real chance to become the top linebacker in this class. That's my board, though. What do you think of Chris Cole? Is he the best coverage linebacker in college football? Can he climb from linebacker 2 to linebacker 1 this season and really show his ability against the run? How much do you put value into a linebacker that can cover in the second level? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow for more as we keep pushing for over 100 prospects before college football kicks off. As always, I am Draft Yoda, Bill Workman, your favorite draft nerd's favorite draft nerd, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.